And just before the session began, I met Fathon Limani, who organized the things here, and he told me that he is from Kosovo, and he knew and knows about my country, the Republic of Georgia. And this very thing, not a mere coincidence, I think just after this thing, I decided to read a poem here about Kosovo. And it means that this poem, very poem for me personally, means that Armenida as a poet reflects on the things just going on, and some acute things in terms of politics and people with pain and the nations which share the experiences that this pain related to finding and defining their place, their right place in this world, is very important for her to highlight in her poetry. So that's why it's very important. And also she highlighted and mentioned at the beginning of her speech that she wants to talk about the voices from different parts of the world, and she wants also to expose the readers and audience to the pain which unites different people. And that's why she said that that's why we are here people, and she is immigrant in Canada, and we are just, it means that we share the same things, and so the same feelings and maybe experiences. So this is how this poem reads. I know that, so the title is Kosovo. I know that you shed tears inside your heart, even when you smile. The eyes that try to hide them in their corners tell me, the wet voice that trembles in the air. How can you rejoice the day when at night you count the years without your child? From the common grave a hand reaches out to wipe out your tears. Kosovo, your returned soul, century after century, does not know why it is reborn, drenched in blood against and again to die. We've come back to a more miserable time. Will it be the last? You kiss the hand and gently cover it with dirt again. Through tears you try to smile at the day, but the stars once more have abandoned your sky. And here is an author's note here that this poem is dedicated to Kosovo's genocide in 1999. More than 1,100 children were killed and disappeared. Thousands of bodies were buried in massive graves. 9,000 people died, and this is a repeated genocide. Maybe you can say something about just why just the tragedy of such small countries capture your specific attention.
It's my country.
Yeah, I know.
Kosovo is my nation.
Yeah, and just you put this in
Albania is a country that was divided by the great powers of Europe.
Yeah.
In 1913.
And you also have something similar written about Ukraine, and just you have this definite focus on what's going on in Ukraine right now. Yeah, and so what do you say about that?
So this poem is specifically a memoir for what happened in Kosovo, because I cannot let the world forget about it. I cannot let the world forget about 1,000 children that had died and been disappeared. And I cannot allow the world to forget that it is my nation that is suffering genocides over and over and over for the last at least 200 years. And this was a very recent one in 1999. And I know that one news covers the other. This is what happens. Like 2 weeks ago, we were hearing so much about Iran, and I don't know if what is actually happening now. I have to search for the news because it's not popping up like it used to whenever I just turned on my phone. And I don't want it to be forgotten, because this is why history repeats, because people forget. And this is my duty, and I have to voice out those children that died and got buried. I have to voice out the pains of those mothers that are forced to continue their lives. How is their life continuing? I am a mother of 2 children, 2 daughters myself. If these were my children buried in a massive grave, where on earth, where on God would I find the courage to continue my life? I always pray that we die in order, that the parents die before their children. But war doesn't give you that luxury. And this is why I had to write about it, and and I have to etch it in time, right? So it's there, and nobody can forget about it. And why I write about Ukraine? Of course, because we cannot be self-centered and only look at our. People have to, voice out other people's concern too. And as humans, and also as writers, the duty of a writer is to voice out the concerns of those that cannot voice their own concerns. You have to advocate for what is right. That is one duty I think that we all have, but writers have it more, to advocate for those that cannot advocate for themselves. Become their voice when they cannot be heard. Become the voice of Massa, become the voice of people dying in Ukraine, a conflict that should not have happened. It should have been resolved. But here we are, and the war is still going on.
Yeah.
And we have to draw attention to it, because it has to stop somewhere.
But it's not, we see that it's not just stopping.
Thank you, Armenida.